Well, dude, I have a question. Are you posting like different types of content on purpose these days? Like, are you trying to do educational stuff or like just post inspirational stuff? Like, do you kind of have different categories that you're trying to post in?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to kind of broaden my stuff right now. I do a little bit. I mean, obviously, I'm known for like the fitness stuff, but I'm trying to touch more on like. I mean, I love cars. So I've been getting into car content, and then I also started like an inner circle group. So developing more of like, I guess I would call it like life coaching, but it kind of goes around like the three things that I'm always been into is like faith, fitness, and like financial health. So I'm trying to like develop, and inspire younger men in that aspect. So that's like kind of trying to put my content around all of that. I mean, it's just basically who I am in general. So I've been like, yeah, my mainstream stuff is fitness, but I've been like dabbling a little bit with a little bit of other stuff because it's more fun to me.
That's cool. When you post that stuff, like, because I've seen you like post that through podcasts, and I've seen you post it through like just edited videos and stuff. Do you find that like one medium kind of does better than the other, or do you just want to do all of it?
Like, what do you mean? Like, as in terms of like platform to post on, or just like the type of content?
Yeah, more like format of the content. So you have like the type, which is like, maybe about fitness or about God, like Christianity and stuff. But then you have like the format. So this is like actual like content strategy, right? Like, is it better just to have text rolling like while you play music behind it and just B-roll footage? Or do you prefer like actual podcast clips, like where you're talking? Do you find like different formats do better?
Yeah, I think the podcast ones tend to do better. I have my own podcast, but it's hard because it usually is just me, so I wouldn't even call it a podcast. But when people see a clip taken from like you having a conversation with someone, they see that as being like it's more watchable versus when you just kind of like hold your phone up with text popping on the screen talking about whatever. Like 100%. If your podcast ones do so much better, that's why the podcast game has been ripping lately. But those clips always go way more viral. That's what I've noticed. My talking clips that aren't fitness related, the only ones that have went somewhat viral are definitely ones that were during a podcast or maybe on somebody else's podcast for sure.
Okay, cool. Got it. Do you have like a piece of content that's gone super viral? Like, do you have one piece that's just gone way above everything else?
I mean, there's like a few like TikToks, yeah, just like me posing. Um, yeah, I mean, it always was like my posing videos. I can't pinpoint one because a lot of them, like when I really was going like popping, was just like putting on like a song that I liked and then just be like posing to it, just like showing like I guess my aesthetic, and then sometimes those would rip and go viral like crazy. YouTube, my Omegle series probably was my most viral series, most consistently viral series was me like flexing on posing on Omegle and getting people's reactions. Uh,
That's awesome.
that's my probably most viewed viral YouTube series. But for TikTok and short form content, posing 100%.
Ah, sick. Yeah, I've seen this. That is awesome. Um, cool. I'm gonna switch just last two things. Just App Rabbit. Um, dude. By the way, this is just you and me. I am excited about getting your app kind of like revamped and getting it like cooking again. We're gonna get someone in there to like, start building programs and everything like that. So it's gonna be pretty good. Is that still kind of like your goal with it? I think it has so much potential, dude. I just think that it just needs to have some time put into it.
Yeah, I agree. Need to like kind of nurture and nurture it a little bit more, which I want to do. And I think by doing this, like, because I've got this coaching mentorship inner circle group that I'm doing now, and one of the things me and my partner with the Trey was trying to do was have a lower ticket option that people can afford, because the high ticket meetups that we're doing are expensive because they are so exclusive. Like we're going to Miami and I'm renting like a $3,000 B&B for a weekend for everybody to pull up. So it is like an exclusive, but we want to have like a lower ticket entry offer. So we were trying to include like value into that. And I was like, that's why I was trying to see if you and him could find something where we can integrate all that into the low ticket option. Cause then it would make more sense on like, it would be easier to promote. And I think it would do pretty well because we have a lot of love right now going kind of crazy with the really expensive, exclusive, like high tier stuff.
Good.
So we're trying to find it, but there are like quite a bit of guys who can't afford it. So we're thinking things that we can like downsell them so that they could still get like a lot of value out of it, but it's like a subscription based, not crazy expensive type of service like the app. and a few other things we're trying to include with like weekly calls. But obviously, if we could kind of put it all through the app, it would make it a little bit easier. That's what I want to do. I'm just like, I want you and Trey to talk because obviously we do like a revenue split through the app, me and you guys, and then I also do a revenue split with Trey on the inner circle stuff. But that's why I was figuring out if you guys could talk, because Trey benefits big off of like the high ticket stuff. So we're trying to find something to get in people in the low ticket so that like at least we get them into something and then slowly upsell them, hopefully, to the more expensive group.
Yeah. Is your expensive stuff, is it like one-on-one, or is it just exclusive, like sharing different information? Like what are the main things you're doing high ticket for right now?
So we kind of ran a trial run just like the last like 3 months going on, but we did our first meetup. And what I've learned from it so far is that everybody found the most value in the in-person meetup. So at first I was going to run like quarterly meetups and like weekly calls and all this. But what I found that people enjoyed the most, because it went so well, the first meetup, like everybody loved it, was that we're going to do more frequent meetups, one every month or one every 2 months was like the goal. Like we're already setting up our next one, and then I'm making it more expensive. So we're trying to have 3 tiers. Initially it was just one. So we're making the in-person meetup one like the highest tier. And that's for just like, it includes everything under it as well as the in-person stuff, which is like where most value is. Like, that's the most expensive thing, is like meeting.
Right. Because people get to actually show up and meet you.
Yeah. And then the option below that, the middle one, is going to be like access to like the various courses that I'm putting out, the weekly calls, some like workshop trying to build in. Hopefully like social media coaching is one avenue I really want to get into that, my time, again, is like limited because of what I do, but I'm trying to put more time into that. Maybe hire someone to help with the social media coaching for these guys, because I do care about a lot of these kids in the group, because I've been meeting them in person. It's been great. The middle option is going to be like everything but the in-person option. And then the third would be the low ticket, under, $50 or $100 a month for app and monthly call or whatever, little things here and there, programs, all that.
Sweet. Well, yeah, that sounds like a good like differentiator then. That's sick that you're doing actual meetups then. I didn't realize that. That's pretty tight.
It is a lot. Like, it's a lot for me, but that's why we're like upping the price even more for the in-person meetup thing, just because like it did so good. You got here? There you go. Sorry, that food's bad. But yeah, it did so well, bro. Like, honestly, I thought it was gonna be awkward, but like everybody's like, because my followers are all like, they're good people, they're good kids, they got a good head on their shoulders. A lot of them are like good Christians. So it was really good.
And they're young, dude. They're so young.
Yeah. They're all like, they're low 20s, but we all vibe great. And like, I just wanted to see how it went. It went really good. So I'm like, all right, bet. Second one we're going to do, I'm going to pay for the B&B and really hype it up, get a lot of crazy content. I made a YouTube video actually out of it. If you watch that, you'll get kind of like a really good idea how it went. And we're using that video as like proof of concept, using it to show these people, like make them have FOMO, be like, this is like some really cool thing we're building, and make them want to be a part of it. But again, if people can't afford it, downsell them to an app would be the best case scenario. And then slowly try and over time upsell those guys in the app.
Yeah. That's cool. How many people were at your last meetup?
I let people bring +1s, which was a good idea because now the +1s are converting. But probably, I think we had 23 people that came.
Sick.
So it was pretty good. Now we're just scaling it up, getting a big B&B for everybody for the next one. Not doing +1s this time. All that.
Cool. Dude, that's sick. I just got an Airbnb for AppRabbit, and we just all went out to Utah for the weekend, and we were just mostly doing like coding and stuff, but you'll probably have more fun in your meetups. That's going to be sick.
Oh, it's been good. There's so much potential with it. And again, I'm like, I'm a young entrepreneur, and I still do a lot of the content heavy stuff. So it's hard for me to dedicate time and resources to things like that. But I can see myself slowly being on the way out of like having to always do content and kind of spend more time at doing stuff like this, taking more of that life coach approach, because some of those guys print money like crazy without having to be crazy content driven. So that's my goal. I just need to build a team around it, and I always have sucked at that. But that's like my next battle I got to overcome, I guess.
Sick. Cool. Yeah, well, building teams is like the ultimate skill set, right? It's like, if you can just keep building teams for every like avenue of revenue, then you're going to be solid, especially with all the connections you have now.
Yeah.